Okay, this is the recap for the, I want to say week 3? I believe it's week 3, yeah, because I missed the first one. So yeah, this is the third one. Second stream. Decent MVPs for both sides. The Orcs did pull off the win, and gonna go in and look at the replay. We're in the Orc Stadium, not that that matters a huge amount. Not early. Neither sides have stadiums, so. The Norse win the coin flip, and they pick to attack, which, yeah, I can't argue with that. Fan factor +2 to the Orcs, which is actually a kind of a big deal on several kickoff events, so not bad to see. No bench on either side, it's 11 on 11. We do have the one Orc loner, and one Norse loner. Or no, two Norse loners. But loners on the Norse team aren't really all that bad due to starting with blocks, so. Both sides have a strength 5 player. Doesn't look like there's any real serious level ups on the Norse team. We got a kicker. And other than that, it doesn't really seem like we have any levels. I know they get a couple after this level. That's a pretty decent kickoff event for the Norse. One thing I will note here, something to be careful of. Not in this instance. I actually do like the fact that you just kind of stacked the line with your high strength players. This guy doesn't have any mighty blow, and I mean he does have the claw, but he doesn't have the mighty blow to go along with it. So I don't hate that at all. But be careful, like when you're fighting more advanced teams, especially like Killer Norse. Once they have a few skills, like I'm pretty sure this guy has mighty blow now, so it'd be claw mighty blow. In which case, putting the troll on the line, I like. Putting the black orcs on the line, I would not be as huge of a fan of. I would prefer to see linemen on the line. That being said, due to the fact that you have a troll and a thrower, until you have a bench, you're not going to have 3 linemen. So I like that he moved a player there first before he picked it up. Always want to have a safety. Although, to be perfectly honest, against your team, not a big idea. It's not a huge deal. You weren't going to do it anyway. Literally get a KO on the troll the first hit. That sucks, but that's basically the troll's job, in all honesty, is to take hits. Both the Black Orcs are fine, which are really the more important players. The troll's just kind of a pain in the ass, so. No mighty blow yet on either team, aside from the one troll who's already out, so. Yeah, I don't hate basing that guy. I wouldn't mind seeing, in all honesty, even though I hate saying it, a Black Orc blitz on this piece just to get him off. But I like this too. Unfortunately, yeah, sometimes you get stuff like double bolts down. Not a whole lot you can do there. Okay, so one thing I'm going to point out immediately is that when you're taking on a team like Norse, do not put yourself within 2 squares of the sideline unless you can hide your player. I don't know if he surfs you, but he could quite easily. Like literally just by putting this player there and then this player just surfing you. I guess we'll see if he does, but I'm just saying that's what I would have done. Because it's an easy surf. He does not do it. So you're not going to get punished for it, but... or maybe you are. Okay, no, I think you are going to get served. Here we go. There we go. And so that's one of the reasons why we just don't put ourselves by the sidelines. It's just too easy for him to get easy removals. Although it did take him a GFI, so, I mean, he could have failed that, but not super likely. I'm a big fan of basing with Black Orcs because they're strength 4, but I'm not a huge fan of the basing with the other pieces. That was a really dangerous block on his behalf. That was a 2 dice into a... I said it was be a 2 dice into a red dice, which would have been atrocious. He hasn't quite given you a shot on the ball, but, I mean, not too bad. There's that AV7 coming into play. Getting a removal. Ooh, 3+ dodge. We should have done our safe. Okay, so, I mean, I don't hate that. I would have done it, but you got to move these players first. Do your safe moves first, which is these two guys who are currently just kind of standing there. Depending on the flow of the play, these guys are basically out of the game now. So you just got to be careful before you do things that can fail. Do things that can't, like just basic moves. Especially like this blitzer, like he could move back here to be a safety. Because currently all your blitzers are kind of tied up, so. Just one thing just to keep in mind when you're doing your turns is just to be careful to do all your safe moves first. Starting with a loner hit, which is pretty ballsy. And we got another removal. Removal game not going your way so far. Oof. Yeah. Frenzy is kind of a double-edged sword. In that, sometimes it works really well, and other times it ends your turn because you didn't pay attention to, like, your dice. And in this case, that was an assist from this Black Orc to turn it into a red dice. So one thing I'm going to point out here, I'm not saying this was a bad move. I do like it. But instead of standing this guy up first and doing that, I probably would have moved these guys first and then done this 2 dice. And then put this guy on the ball. Or even blitz the ball if you really feel like it. That's definitely one of the things you can do. Block's doing some pain, which is nice. This guy probably should have moved somewhere after that block, though. You got too many players standing here in a circle. Ooh, Wild Animal Blitz. That's a bit of a godsend for you. Since if that had worked... I'm actually not quite sure... Oh. I'm doing 3+ into a stun. Man, you guys do really quick turns. So yeah, again, like I was saying, if that had not failed, you could have been in a bit of trouble here. I like where these guys are right here. Really good positioning. I'm not really sure why he did the Yeti Blitz. I'm not a big fan of big guys, in all honesty. He could have done a 2 dice on either of these two guys and then just run his ball down here. where you have relatively few players to deal with it, especially if he knocks the blitzer down instead of the big guy. You do have a shot on the ball. Yeah, I don't know if I would have taken it either with only one reroll. Get another injury. Great game for SPP for you so far. Just a miss next game on a base dude. It's not something anybody's really concerned about. Alright, one thing I just want to point out here. I don't think he's going to do it, but this player has jump up, which means that on I want to say a 3+, he can stand up and do a hit against you for for free, just as if he was standing there normally. So just be careful with stuff like that. Not a huge deal right now, but it will be once teams like Norse start getting more skills on them. Witch Elves can do the same thing too, which makes them super obnoxious. Yeti doing what he's supposed to. Armor's not really a thing this game. Not really sure what he's doing. Okay, that's a thing. He's holding back way too much. He should be pushing up down here. You have basically no players down here to do anything. If he could just tie up your blitzers. I think it's pretty likely he's not scoring this half, though. Well, I mean, I know he doesn't score this half, but at this point it would be really difficult for him to actually do so. Dodge rolls are just bad this game, but I'm not really sure what he's doing. Oh, is that an intercept? It is an intercept. Okay, then. Could he have... He totally could have stopped that play, that guy from being able to intercept. He just stands up this player, does the hit here. It's a 2 dice into a 2 dice. Yeah, that's what I would have done. But whenever there's a chance for an intercept, I just absolutely hate the chances of it actually occurring. So, yeah. Ball's in your hands now, with 3 turns. Should be a relatively easy score on a movement 6 thrower. He does have a reroll. You're getting real good removals this game, that's for sure. Honestly, I think your team is better without the troll. Just due to the troll just adds a lot of instability into the team. Okay, one thing I will point out is that this block was pretty dangerous. A 1 dice block without actually having block, you had a 33% chance of failing it and ending up on the ground and freeing this guy up. And a 1 in 6 of just knocking yourself down and freeing him up. If this player gets freed up, he actually has the ability to do some extra stuff on you, so just be careful with stuff like that. Although he's just going to go for the hit anyway, by the looks of it. Casual pow. Jump up doing a thing. Unfortunately, with jump up, it's really difficult for you to hide from that guy. And then he fails the GFI. He should push you up again. No. He should have pushed you right there, but... Is the Yeti gonna do anything? Not sure why he's doing 1 dice before the Yeti block, but... Oh, and there's the one on the wild animal. Yetis are, I'm not a huge fan of any big guy, but Yetis are a definite good piece. Your removal dice are hot this game. No Mighty Blow, so just pretty solid dice. With no rerolls, I would not be doing this hit right now. The important hit's getting this guy free. Okay, yeah. Sadly, that'll happen. At least you got the 2 SPP from the intercept, so that's something. And with only 1 turn, he can't score, because he doesn't actually have a scoring threat, so... Not sure why he did that before he did blocks. I don't hate it, but he left a lot of guys based up. Alright, so the plan here, I think, would be you blitz this guy off. Yep, I like that. Okay, yeah. Sometimes block dice are... I'm assuming the Apo saves that. Yeah, no Kaz. So that's a good Apo. Yeah, unfortunately sometimes the dice are just like, nah. I like that play a lot. That's totally what I would have done. Both your KOs wake up. And he gets 2 of his 3, so... You have the definite player advantage at this point. Because you have, I believe, 11? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you still have all 11. So you haven't effectively taken a removal. He's taken 3, which is super unfortunate for his team. Norse are one of those teams that once they go down players, they're in trouble. Especially against a strength team like Orcs. One thing I would really like to see in this half is you making 3 dice with the troll instead of making 2 dice blocks. Which in this case would be that your Black Orcs or whatever would make their blocks first, or your Blitzers, that's fine too. But they should be on the inside. You should switch where your Black Orcs and your Blitzers are. Because currently these are 1 dice. Because you don't have any guard. But yeah, well, I would totally do that. I would do the block there, the Blitzers hitting here, push these guys back, and then 3 dice with the troll. Although that is an Ulf, so I guess you can't 3 dice. Getting extra rerolls, which is good for both of you, actually. I would have preferred to see the thrower somewhere in the middle. And I definitely don't like seeing a troll block that early. Especially before you can make more reliable blocks, so... Because, yeah, you want to get Kaz on your Blitzers. Does he just, like, not have an Apo, or... I guess those are just linemen taking miss next games. Picking up with a loner, that's a play. I'm not going to say it's a good one, but that was really risky. That was a 3+ with no reroll of any kind, unless you passed a 4+ loner. So be careful with things like that. We are going to get this Ulf on the ground. And we're going to get the stun. Ball is quite safe where it is. I don't hate the fact that a loner's carrying it, but that was super risky before doing the rest of your turn. Gonna blitz the troll. Interesting. Troll's out again. Again, I think trolls are awful, so I think this actually doesn't really hurt you at all. Troll's doing his job. He's taking the blitzes you don't want your other guys to take, so... I think all in all, that's pretty good. Alright, so without seeing anything else, I mean, you got this easy hit here, obviously, with this Blitzer. I would like to see a blitz on this Berserker, just because the Berserkers are like the power pieces of this team. And no one else is really in a position to stop you, especially with the 3 Black Orcs up here. And this guy needs to hand off to him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you can totally do the handoff, so hopefully you do. Okay, here's the handoff. I would have preferred to see not that first, but you got lucky there with Disturbing Presence. But unfortunately, not a whole lot you can do when it's a 3-square radius, but yeah. You guys are just going ham now. At this point, you kind of need to blitz this guy. I think. Definitely wouldn't be blitzing him on that side, but not awful. It does tie up the other Berserker. This is a 2 dice into a 1 dice, which I never like seeing. Oh, and a GFI. Loner fails. Yep. That's why I don't like big guys. So your ball is really secure at this point. Just blitz this guy with one of your Black Orcs. I'd be super careful about being on the edge with Frenzy guy there, but definitely tie off the Yeti with the lineman. I mean, at this point, you have such a player advantage, it's not really a huge deal. I don't like blitzing towards your cage, but in this case, it's not too terrible, because it doesn't really have any of the players to stop you from doing so. Like I said, I would have liked to see this guy basing the Yeti, because I don't think this block was particularly worth. Another armor break. Starting to run out of players at this point. Here comes... Ooh, the GF... I don't know why he keeps doing that. Ugh, big guys. They betray you. Well, that's a pretty decent roll for him. Making you waste your reroll. Okay, I was about to say, I was like, be careful which way you push this guy. Lucky hit there. AV7 is paper this game, which is good for you. I mean, aside from his next games, though, he's come out relatively good, so I don't think he can complain too much. Down we go. Oh, and you take the break. Jump up does a thing. The wild animal fails, which is... Okay, he's trying to surf you. Which I agree with. Surfing is a super easy way to remove players. He wants to keep the threat on your ball. If that wild animal had succeeded, this would have been a bit more dangerous, this region here. It's a 1 dice. Gonna do the handoff. I always like to see scoring on blitzers, so totally agree with that. Troll wakes up again. Both his guys wake up. Your KO rolls have been disgusting, actually. They're 100%. Not that you really needed the troll in this game, but... and you stay in. Wow, that was a really good scatter. I can't see him potentially scoring in 4 turns with this setup. Not with you still having all your players. That Yeti has just been atrocious. So 2 levels so far. I'm not gonna lie, I would be prioritizing blitzers on the 5 of 6 and the 4 of 6 blitzers, as both of them are super close to leveling, and they just need a Kaz to level, or a single SPP. Yeah, I like blitzing with this guy. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that happens. This is a pretty decent frenzy trap right here. So if he goes for it, it's a 2 dice into a 1 dice. But he goes for the bulk pickup first, and oh, he does make it. He doesn't really have anywhere to go with it, though. See if the Yeti can do it again. Nope. He probably would have done it if he was hitting the troll. Kind of surprised he didn't do this block. I think he's basically just trying to stop you from scoring at this point. A 1 dice here. Yeah, push isn't terrible. I wonder if he's just gonna punt it at this point, in all honesty. There's no way that he scores at this point. Wow, okay, just rolling all the... But no other blocks. I don't really understand that. Like this Yeti case, so... If you hit here, it's a 2 dice into a 2 dice. So that's still a safe block. He's screwed, obviously. This guy could do a 2 dice into a 2 dice as well. Yeah, I'm not really sure why he wasn't making any blocks there. Ooh, it's the 4 of 6 guy. I like him blitzing. But nothing. I would have liked you to come in this way just to push him on the sideline. There's no danger of him... Well, I guess there is a danger of him scoring. Because he has this player down here. Now I think about it. Yeah, you need to tie that player up. Or maybe you could just roll an intercept again. Down goes the Yeti. But he's fine. So he's going to go for the 2 dice. And now the rest of this play is super risky. What he should have done the dodges and stuff first. Because this is well, I guess it was inaccurate anyway. And that's the game. I mean, you got lucky in a few things. Like the sheer casualties and KOs that you inflicted were pretty decent, and your actual KO rolls were amazing, 100%. His KO rolls were pretty excellent as well. If it hadn't been for a couple wild animal rolls and a couple just strange movements that he did, you could have had a bit more difficulty. You do need to watch your players on the sidelines against Frenzy, because it's not that difficult to surf you if you give him like an easy hit like you did on the 2 different occasions. Just something to be mindful of, and you'll learn more of it as you play more, just to watch that. Your dodges were atrocious, but which is odd because they were 3 pluses. And yeah, if that throw or block had worked in the beginning of the game, you would have been able to probably turn this into a 2-0, but can't always get it, unfortunately. But it was pretty well played, so, definitely excited to see what you pull off next week.